Welcome to our glorious Ashes of Creation January development update. We hope that everyone has been well and safe. This is our first update of the year. It's crazy.
Woo!
So happy New Year, happy Lunar New Year for those who celebrate. We hope that you've been doing good. We have been busy, busy bees. For those of you who have been keeping up with the PTR and obviously our update that went live yesterday, you probably have seen that we have quite a big, hefty update notes
A
that just
huge
went out.
one.
Yes. So this is our big update. Like we said before, we'll have smaller ones and then we'll have big ones every like 6-ish weeks. So stay tuned for those ones. But obviously, this one's a big one. Our next big one will probably be rogue oriented. So stay tuned for that. We also internally, well, I guess it was PTR oriented. So it's still kind of external. Did some node siege testing the other day, which was, I think, believe that was like Wednesday. All the days
I
are meshing together.
know. That's
But
all
we've been
meshing
doing a
together.
lot. So not only do we have the stuff that you're seeing today, we have so much more in the works that we're pushing forward on. But the team is kicking some booty and taking some names. And now we get to have
Yes.
a little fun today and this weekend playing with you all. So of course, I am Margaret Crone. I'm your Director of Communications here at Intrepid Studios. And with me, as always, is Stephen Sharif, our Creative Director.
Woo!
And later, you'll be seeing a whole bunch of folks that will be joining us to talk about today's update, so that you can kind of check it out and see what we're doing. But as like a quick overview of what you're going to see today, we're going to go over some quick reminders. And then we'll go into a little treasure hunt playthrough, but we're going to basically just explore the desert area so you guys can see all the cool stuff that we've been working on and some of the other features that we've been putting together for the team. We'll talk a little bit about some bugs that we fixed, which is pretty exciting. And then, of course, we'll do a live Q&A. So if you have questions, feel free to pop those in the chat. We're grabbing them from live stream, we're grabbing them from Discord, we're grabbing them from social. So wherever you are, our team is keeping their eyes peeled for any questions that they think are going to be ones that we should be answering. And of course, we won't be able to get to them all, but we'll do our best. But we're going to be staying in the gameplay while we do those segments, just as an FYI. But before we get into all of that, we have our YouTube subscriber comment spotlight. So if you would like to be spotlighted as our YouTube spotlight, all you have to do is on our development update, the full video, make sure you're subscribed to our channel, make sure you're publicly subscribed so we could see you, and then leave a comment and you may be spotlighted. So today's spotlight is from Cooler8888888. And they want to know Rogue preview when? Please have true stealth. Please have true stealth. Please have true stealth.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
Stephen, do you want to kind of give the people what they want? Tell them
Well,
roughly when we're looking at Rogue, at least for them to get their hands on it. And then, of course, um, how stealth is going to work. I know we've
uh,
talked about it a bit already.
I will say that the Rogue is currently out of design's hands and into the VFX pipeline and the sound effects pipeline. Animation and design work has been relatively completed. There might be some additional tuning, obviously, but we are targeting some initial testing on our PTR environment in early February. So it is coming up. I know that there are a lot of people excited. There is definitely a sophisticated stealth mechanic that has been authored and designed by Dr. Bucky, our resident doctor of animal husbandry, all things Bard, and now all things Rogue. And I think people are going to be very excited and have a lot of fun testing out this new archetype. It rounds out the party comp, I think, pretty well.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how PvP changes. Also, I'm ready for day one when Bard or when Rogue is out that everyone's just playing a Rogue. It's going to
Oh
be
yeah, we saw that
a
with the
little,
dwarf.
yeah. It's always funny to see how that plays out. The first day, it's like everyone's playing it, and then it kind of meshes out, and everyone it goes back to what they were normally doing. I think some interesting data in regards to that is like our top played class or archetype so far is mage. So Steven's love for mages. There's obviously
What?
others who are also
I
on
have a
that,
love
and
for all archetypes.
our top race that people are playing is actually Kalar, which I was kind of surprised by that. I thought
Well, it is the
Junior
default.
was a little close to that. I would think it was off by like a very small amount of characters.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you have that kind of default setting there, you're gonna weigh some segment of the player population creation. But no, I mean, we've definitely seen people gravitate towards new things, new shiny things, and that's gonna happen with the Rogue for sure. We're gonna have a server filled with Rogues when Rogues are available to play on Prod, but that's great because that's how we get information and that's how we collect data. So.
Yeah, and speaking of collecting data and collecting information, if you are playing, using slash bug in game is immensely huge for us. I think we had over 150,000 bugs that were put in. Our team has been quickly going through those. Bugs have been sent out to teams. Obviously, if you've been following along, we've been fixing things on a week-to-week basis, even on a hot fix basis. So we're working towards them. Some of the bigger, heavier ones, definitely check our known issues list. Those are going to take us a little bit longer to fix, but we're working towards them. So just stay tuned for all of that and keep reporting. That is
By the
super
way,
helpful.
those are not unique bugs. Those are a lot of duplicated bugs.
Yes, that's true. That's true. There's a lot of duplicated bugs in there.
Yes.
Because you guys can't see like what you're bugging against it. But
Yes.
honestly, the extra data sometimes is helpful because when multiple people are encountering
Oh, it
something.
shows frequency. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't think we've talked about this in depth, but when you do slash bug, we get some other data for us. So just, I know some people are like, well, I prefer reporting on Discord or forums. You can still report to those places, but in game, it does give us some additional information when you do it. So it is really helpful for us if you could do it in game for us. I just wanted to note
Absolutely.
that because some people were like, I wasn't aware of that. Um, Anything else you want to share on that front before we get into little
No, I
reminders?
know. I think, I mean, this is our first stream of the year of 2025. I can't believe it is the year 2025. I mean, the world is still
Yeah.
ticking technically, right? We're still all here. Who knows for how much longer? But no, just kidding. Um, I mean, it's been almost a month and a half since our last update. Things have
Yeah.
been moving very well within the studio. We had a significant amount of effort expended at the start of this month towards kind of what our introspection and retrospection is on, studio habits, processes. Um, we had a leadership summit at the beginning
Yes.
of this month that was very in depth, and I think we've walked out of that with great plans for what this year is going to look like, for what things are going to be changing within the studio. You guys are going to see, I think, a lot of changes with regards to kind of like pacing or updates, the quality and size of those updates. This is a great example of one of those. Obviously, this has a lot of significant addition into the game. So we are hitting kind of our cadence benchmarks that we set for ourselves, which is very good to see. Um, but yeah, no, it's been a very busy month so far, and
Yeah,
I
the
I have
summit
never
was
been more
really
motivated in a
Yeah,
in
the
a month.
summit was really, I think, motivating for sure, like what Steven said, inspirational. So thank you, Jacob, for running that for our director team. But our directors here have been like kicking some major butt. We're doing a lot of planning. Now we just got to make it all come to fruition. So
Yes,
that's going to
that's
be the
right.
big side. Hopefully, you all just see things moving smoother and better, and it just it doesn't make a super different change for you guys on the player side, other than having a better experience and knowing
Hmm.
like what's coming down the line a little bit easier, and letting our team be able to, at least my team, we're the ones communicating those things with you guys, being able to do that on a little bit more future thinking process, I
Yes.
guess is the best way to put
And
it.
by the way, I know Margaret alluded to this briefly, but this week, as you said, we had our first siege testing since Alpha 1. And it was a
In world.
yeah, in world, on the PTR. We did this testing on the PTR. We're getting siege ready for node sieges. And it was pretty successful. We did not have a server crash. And performance was relatively acceptable for the 200 players that were participating. We felt pretty confident about that. The profiles that we were taking looked good, both on the server side as well as on the rendering side. I mean, obviously there's a lot of room for improvement there, but from an initial test perspective, it was pretty good. And this was different, obviously, than what we had in Alpha 1 with our siege testing, which those of you who were
It was
present
more
at Alpha
instanced
1,
too.
yeah, it was still in the world, but you had to teleport to that location, so it wasn't necessarily an instance, but it was partitioned that way. Here, this is in the
Yeah.
open world and around the nodes that we were conducting it, and with a registration process and whatnot, and things were we're going in a pretty good direction. I know that a lot of those PTR testers have been talking about it over the last couple of days. I think you're going to see more conversations about that testing as we continue over the next several weeks.
And it'll be what we are experiencing on PTR for those who did partake. Obviously, that is early stages. There's still a lot of work that they're doing on the balancing side and, of course, layout side and things like that. So your feedback has been super helpful. They definitely appreciate all of that. But they are taking a lot of that into effect, and you'll be seeing the next iteration of it. You'll be seeing some changes for sure.
I see someone
Um,
in chat said, Stephen, tell us about the duck next to you, Duckers. Just to be clear, this duck was a art piece that was created by Natalie, who does a lot of our archetype player archetype art. You'll see her work with the icons around the player classes. She's a very talented artist and
She did some of
apparently
our
has a love
emotes
of
as
ducks.
well that we've been using
Yes.
in Discord. So I know folks have been doing it. I have a whole nother round of them that I need to look over and be getting those in as well. So thank you, Natalie. But let's go through the reminders quickly so we can get to the fun stuff. We obviously are in Alpha 2 Phase 2, just so that you guys are aware. If you get the second wave bundle, that will give you immediate access during the times that we're up. We are up Thursdays starting around 10 a.m. Pacific, and then we end on Mondays at 10 p.m. Pacific. So that is roughly the schedule. Obviously, we'll keep you guys informed in our Discord news channel. We're also working on some launcher information so that it's on the launcher and you don't have to go to Discord. I know not everybody wants to go to Discord, but Discord is where we keep the most up-to-date, moment-to-moment information for you. But that's generally roughly when we're up and down for these 5-day tests. And I know it's not perfectly 5 days in the 24-hour realms if people are doing the math, you nerds out there, but roughly 5 days for us, okay? So that's kind of like the big thing that you need to know in order to how to get access. If you have any issues, let us know and we'll try to assist you. On the dev discussion side, we have a couple that are up right now. So we have music and MMO RPGs that is still up for you guys to partake in, and that is what are your favorite songs in MMORPGs and why? How do they make you feel? How important are music and ambiance to you? And what examples from your favorite games demonstrate this best? Hopefully, when you're listening in on the desert, you can hear some of the wonderful ambience and music that we have there. It's pretty awesome. Siege also has some music coming, which is pretty cool. So stay tuned for that.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Someone in chat just said the Dion theme from Lineage 2.
ooh, yeah.
There's no other like soundtrack in an MMO that I've ever played that hits the feels as hard as that Dion theme. It definitely does.
There's those pieces of like not even sometimes it's not even like a song. Sometimes it's just like a level up sound or things like that that are just iconic to you from like the games that you love. So definitely share that information with us. We want to hear what your favorites are because those things inspire us and motivate us. And sometimes there are things that we're already thinking of on our end. The other one that's up is spells and abilities. What is the best ability or spell you've used and why? Which spells or abilities stand out the most to you from games you've played in the past, and what made them special to you? So I know a lot of you love the spells and abilities, so make sure that you're giving us feedback over there. We obviously are still in progress of making our archetypes and the secondary archetypes that are coming along the lines that you'll see in phase 3. So definitely toss those to us. And next up, we are going to be having a guild program dev discussion. I know that a lot of guild leaders have reached out to me or to the community team asking us like, hey, how do I get involved on a guild level? We are going to be working on a program that is similar to our content creator program that is more guild leader, guild program oriented. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, toss us your feedback. We'll have like a whole slew of questions that we're looking for answers on. Please, please, we implore you, if you are somebody who runs a guild, make sure that you toss us some feedback over there on the forums. And with that, I think that we are going to pop into game and show you the good stuff that's more fun. Unless Steven has
Ooh.
anything else he wants to share outside of that.
No, I mean we're taking oh, alrighty.
We hear Kyle. Kyle's running the
Oh.
broadcast today. I get to just host, which is nice. It's probably why I'm not stressed out right now. Usually I'm like stressing. Yeah, we can hear you, Kyle.
We hear you, Kyle. Yes, so we are going to be doing things a little bit different today. We talked a little bit about this ahead of our October 25th Phase 1 launch, that as part of Alpha 2, we will be taking some different approaches to our live streams. We're going to be live. We're literally going to be live. We're doing it live today on
We used to do this back in Alpha 1, so I'm
yeah, no,
excited.
for sure.
I'm excited to be back in that space where we can just hop in and play with you guys.
It's been a while. It has definitely been a while. I see some uh-ohs in chat. Um,
Don't
but
worry, we have CS watching.
yes, that is true. We do have CS watching. Yeah, we can switch over. No, we're gonna take a look around some of the content that was released in our large patch yesterday. Some of that obviously being in the desert. We're gonna talk a little bit about the new NPCs. We're gonna talk about the new points of interest. We're gonna talk about some of the econ changes and new harvestables that exist, and we're gonna talk about the guild systems and progression and talk about how that works kind of. So yeah, let's switch over. Can we switch over?
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's do this.
Woohoo. Hello.
All
How are you
right.
guys doing?
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, gang?
Hello.
Welcome.
We got the party. Creepy
Yes.
alien looking parties with the geodes.
I know.
Oh,
So
they can't see them yet. I
not yet, not yet. We haven't done the
don't.
intro yet. So welcome everybody. We are live today on the production environment in our Alpha 2, and I am joined by 7 of our glorious esteemed colleagues here at Intrepid Studios, some of which are very responsible for the awesome stuff that you see in game. Let's start with our designers. We are joined by Dr. Bucky. Dr. Bucky, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Glad to be on another live stream.
There's a lot of people that are ready, willing, and able to collect as much leaks as possible about the rogue. So, however you want to like approach that during the stream, by all means.
And be sneaking around.
All right, let's sneak around a little bit. And then we have our resident economy expert, our glorious designer, Corey. Corey, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good as well. Happy to be here. Stoked to play with the crew and enjoy the game together.
Yes, there's been a lot of new recipes and some new materials that are present that people get to harvest in the desert area. I think we're finally starting to see some different zones play a role, perhaps, in that whole movement of world goods and whatnot. So I'm excited to chat with you a little bit about what those changes are as we kind of play through. And then we also have with us one of our glorious designers, Scott, on the narrative side. Scott, how you doing, buddy?
Doing wonderful. Desert's like my favorite zone ever. Quite excited.
Oh, I love the soundtrack too, and all the treasures that we can hunt out here now. I know a lot of people have been enjoying the treasure map system that your team has been working on. There's been a few bugs, but we've been addressing them as they come along. I've noticed some people, yeah, I know, right, in an alpha. But I've noticed that a lot of people are actually really enjoying the treasure map system. I think we're going to play through one of those, right?
We are, and of course, more features still to come with the system too.
Awesome, awesome. And then we also have another glorious designer, Jeremy. How you doing?
Doing good. Ready to show more of the desert here. Show off the work of a lot of artists and designers who've put in a lot of time and effort into this. So.
Yes, and you in the world team, which you are feature owner of, has been doing a lot of work on the POIs, on these 6 new pocket dungeons, the placement of the new NPCs that the NPC team has been working on. I think there's been 18 different variants of NPCs that have been placed within the desert environment, and that's just the start.
And one really exciting new Najash Snake Man.
Ooh, Najash. That is, yes, the Najash are
3 actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's 3 different Najash types. That's cool. I think people I don't no one's ever played with the Najash yet since yesterday. Right? Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah, they came up with the snake bite stash.
That's awesome. And then of course, you can't really make a world without having a glorious world artist on the environment side. Zachary, how are you doing, brother?
Hi, I'm doing very good. I'm very happy to be here. And
Yeah.
the desert, very happy and excited to show you guys everything that we've all been
know.
working on.
Zachary is one of our glorious artists who is responsible for helping to set dress the world and make the environments look compelling and interesting and inspire mystery and a desire to explore. So awesome job, Zach.
Oh, thank you.
You and your team are doing a great
Zach,
job.
Hans, Tristan, Chance.
Yeah,
Yes.
huge team, tons of people. Yeah, thank you very
Absolutely.
much. We're excited to show you.
And then, of course, no gaggle of developers would be complete without having a resident producer available to keep things on track. Nathan, aka Planendorf, welcome.
I'm so excited for this. Like, this is a huge update where we've got a lot of interesting things that we're going to talk about in terms of how this affects the world, like the larger world of Vera, not just obviously the desert. Yeah, this is so awesome. I've been excited about this update for a long time. So stoked to show it to y'all.
And then Luperza, we've already
Heck
done your
yeah.
introduction. Welcome.
Yeah.
Oh yes, let me go ahead and kill that. And I see that we actually have a few of our developers over here in an ominous Illuminati type circle as weird little sentinel creatures. Welcome.
I'm excited to be back in game and being able to play with everybody on like live realms. It's gonna be the future.
We are inhabiting these. We've possessed these NPCs who would normally be NPCs and or mounts, and we're flying around with them a little bit. Let's explore. Where should we? Let's just take a look around the area. I know that we have one of our more significant landmarks. Let me set my speed
And
a little
Mama,
bit faster. I'm going to set my speed to 1, and we can just kind of fly around together.
she looks amazing at night too. Whenever the stars are around her.
I know, she does look. This is the Sand Mama. And our Sand Mama had some materials changed on her since the last time I believe you saw her. Obviously, you can see there's some effects. We had a little bit of a stronger aspect of these heat effects, these heat shimmers. But those have been dialed down in the latest build that we deployed this morning. But talk to me, Jeremy, about the Sand Mama.
She is a statue that we saw way back in the day, but she represents a goddess we'll learn about. Also, the human race. We don't know exactly who built her or put her out here yet, but that's a mystery that will be discovered from the narrative side of the story.
That's cool. And then I see that there's also, I think, a little bit of a preview, although it's blocked off. Who knows what the predicate might be in order to unlock this dungeon, but there's a little maybe dungeon beneath her as well.
Yep, that's one of the hidden secrets that are for players to discover, and will unlock different mysteries that the desert holds.
I'm digging the
Jeremy's
desert,
like,
Mama.
you're giving all our secrets.
No.
I'm trying to be guarded about it.
I'm digging the desert, Mama. These people are
It
like,
looks
"What?"
really, really cool at nighttime too. So I implore you to come down to this space at night if you have a chance.
By the way, throughout the stream, you're going to notice these bounding boxes, these debug markers, essentially.
They're
just know
totally
that-
there on purpose.
Yeah, just know that those accidentally got left in the prod build. There'll be a hot fix later today that'll include some other changes, and we'll take those out. But just to
Kind of
give you,
nice. They direct you to where the nodes are.
yeah, right. They're above the nodes. If you want to know what those are, you can see on screen there are effects. This kind of wind, right? These atmospherics that are showing, and those winds can be dialed up with the speed of. If I want to show you here, they accommodate. We have a pretty intricate weather system that's intended in Ashes, which has unique values of wind throughout the world based off of weather systems. And as that wind gets dialed up, you can see a significant increase within the desert. And this kind of allows for certain types of storms to occur. And those storms can have effects on the players, as you can see right now, right? And so what we were trying to do was we wanted to keep these effects out of the node. And as part of that investigation, we were applying a suppression volume. And the debugger got left on. Unfortunately, it was set to hide with a packaged build, but Unreal sometimes can be a little funky with those functions, and this got left in and it made it past our QA check. So just be aware, right now in the current prod, those are present. It is for a good reason, though. Let me
You don't want to
back-
push Hurricane to server, Steven? Come on. press the button.
I'm not gonna push that. I'm not gonna push that to the server. Everybody will be like, "What is happening?" I mean, if that, the weather systems are intended to have effects on things like farming harvestables and the actual like environment and the growth speed of different harvestables in the world as well. And so a lot of these systems
People are
very
like, for
intricate.
science, do it.
No way.
I know. We got a whole live stream to run, y'all.
I know. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. I like my little eyes. They're kind of cool with this dude.
I know your
Oh,
little guy's
I-
so cool.
I
looking.
didn't know it had eyes, and I wish I still lived in that.
Oh,
time.
Oh,
it has
do you
eyes.
have like the fear of the little?
Those are gross
I know
eyes.
some
Come on,
people
guys.
do.
Like those are deeply unsettling eyes. Deep
No,
set, deeply
what?
unsettling.
No,
Hey,
they're
dude, this
cute.
guy's
Oh, my
cute.
little
Leave him
guy.
alone.
He's so cute.
Unbelievable,
it's like the source.
Nathan.
Adorable.
This is like a community favorite. What's its name? We should name it something like Bob.
Bob the Blob.
That one has
Bob
a
the
name.
Blob.
I don't remember what it is.
It's
Off
the
the top of my head.
Maelstrom Crown, I think, or something.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, I know it has a name.
So let's
Comes from,
talk a little bit.
We see.
Jeremy, where should we go from here? Where's our first kind of pocket dungeon we want to take a look at together?
I think Scott's leading our tour, and we're heading towards Snakebite Stash. Is that right, Scott?
Yeah, we can also get a nice marker added to your map if you.
Oh, yeah, there's
let's
a
do
I
it.
think we might be showing off.
Uh-huh.
We got distracted.
Yeah.
What's this marker? Oh, I see.
Yeah, you know
Oh yeah.
the thing.
Okay, hold on. Let me do that. Let me do that. This is a treasure map we're going to take a look at. I'm just going to right click on the treasure map so that we can activate the quest. Our quest journal has been updated. We must seek the curious cache. The curious cache. Where is that at?
So it's pretty far to the northeast from here. We wandered a little bit west.
Oh,
But-
I see. It's over here.
Yeah,
Sure.
clear over there, northeast of 8th
Well,
and
let's set our speed to like 3.
Oh,
And then
we're gonna
we'll-
go fast.
Yep, let's zoom. We're
All
zooming.
right.
You gots to go fast.
Zoomers.
Zoomers rise up.
Dude, look at the little sentinels behind us.
Yeah.
Ah, it's too funny.
Here they come. Ready the EMP.
Oh my gosh,
so
our
good.
limbs
Yeah, total
are just like
Matrix vibes.
flailing around.
Out of the low desert up into the high desert.
Mhm.
Yes, it looks great. I love these trees, by the way.
Yeah, and that was kind of an interesting thing that we experimented with. This is with this zone is sort of like sub biomes or more variations within a biome, right? So we've got some cool things that our environment, tech art, and lighting teams have set up to actually change like the audio and sound and weather and wind of all of these different areas, which you can see in what's live as you're kind of moving through these zones to make the highland desert feel different, the open desert feel different. So definitely look and feel a big push for us for this update.
It was northeast. So we're going northwest currently.
Yeah, we should be
Yeah.
going northeast.
Where am I
Take
going?
one.
Bear right
He
here.
hasn't gotten enough sleep.
Oh, dude, I was up for 23 hours straight yesterday.
Captain,
Gosh, that's not healthy, buddy.
turn the
It
ship.
was rough.
We're going toward the Vault of the Immigrant. Now we need to head east.
Yeah,
Dude,
talking
I'm
about that,
heading east.
Nathan. What I don't know if you guys want to talk a little bit about what goes into kind of creating large expanses like this.
A lot of work.
Yeah. Fortunately, on the world side, we have some capabilities now with PCG, which we keep getting some advancements on. We've used that with these acacia trees here below us. That we've used it on the cliff rocks and also on our foliage to help place out things for gatherables and all that. And yeah, just like what Nathan was saying, up in this upper highlands area, we'll have a little bit more moisture because it's near the riverlands. And as you progress further in the desert and get closer to the dunes, the lighting team has also done awesome work with like helping also to progress that atmospheric vibe as you get deeper in, and a little more lushness around the oasis and the rivers. Yeah,
Is it Oasis? Oh, I was.
I'm not sure.
I like Oasis.
Oases.
I like Oasis. That's good. Yeah, Zach, it looks great.
Thank you.
And for the
Yeah, it's
for
a
the
bunch-
folks at home
bunch of people
who-
working on it.
Yeah, and for the folks at home who heard PCG, I'm not sure what that is. That's procedural content generation, which is something we're building out that tool set a lot so that we can, build out these areas a lot faster. Like the Riverlands, we learned a lot there, and so it's been really cool for us to take the learnings from not just the Riverlands, but also this early period of Alpha 2, getting a lot of our, the community's feedback on what's important to them, and then we can kind of turn those into semi-automated tools. Like there's always an artist behind it, always trying to make something that still feels
Ambush.
unique, but making it so that our tools are keeping pace so that we can start delivering content to you guys faster and faster.
Where are we going?
I'm following you.
further.
You're the
Oh
one with the
my.
X on your map.
Do I have the X on my map? I don't see the X on my map.
We're going to Snakebite. Follow me,
Yeah,
children.
this way.
Yes.
Which squiggly thing are you, Scott?
More east.
Oh,
We're more east.
That's
from
a
you,
very good
Steven.
question. I'm like one of the furthest east ones, like not northeast ones.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'm just
coming.
following Steven.
Oh.
Wherever Steven goes, I'm going.
The mirages
Even
of
if
the
it's to my
Sand
death.
Squall play me.
Nathan, we can just chill here.
Yeah, okay.
I'm coming. I'm on my way. I'm almost there. Oh, I found a squiggly person.
Yep,
I don't-
that's
I don't-
Squigglies assembled.
Okay.
Squiggly.
I don't know where you went.
Oh, I found him.
You can see us on the map.
Oh, that's true.
We're just a
Yeah.
little more east.
All right. Let me not be a squiggly person anymore.
Should we all
Ooh.
unsquiggly?
Yeah, let's unsquiggly and kill our squigglies.
Oh, savage.
That's
I
super
know.
sad.
We gotta kill the squigglies. We've done it. I'm ready. I'm ready to face any foe. Where is this? Where are we going for the treasure, though?
Oh, we got to turn our speed down too. We're still really fast.
Oh yeah.
Should just be down here somewhere.
I love my footprints in the sand.
Oh, speed. Hold on. Some Najashi.
Somebody said Steven looks like a special event NPC. I was thinking the other night, Bucky, that we should consider a low gravity ability on the bard for their party.
One of the sagas actually gives low gravity to the whole party when you use it.
Oh,
People like
is that in
one.
yet? Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
that's, and
Yeah.
we can run that, Steven.
Dude.
If you want the uppies that people are using
Yes.
in the PvP tournament, it'd be cool.
Oh, we should up these.
All right, I'll set up some uppies.
I don't know. Sometimes when our abilities have already gone into the game.
Team moves fast.
Very good. All right. Oh, I found a guy. Pan. He's fighting some Nagash or Najash.
PKM.
Gosh.
Look at this.
My gosh, it's Najash.
Oh my gosh, it's a Najash.
Najash. Short A.
Steven.
Yes, where are we going?
This is right here. Or I found it. It's peeking out of the sand over here.
Oh, okay. I'm coming. I'm coming. I don't see where Scott is. Where's Scott? Oh, there you are.
I'm jumping.
Oh, you found it? Oh, we found the
You're
treasure.
like, Steven, stop joshing around.
All right.
Nice.
It's good. It's good.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Ooh, is this an updated chest?
Updated chest. The actual treasure chest itself, like the mound, is updated, so you can. It's a little bit easier to find. People are struggling with that a bit. You can actually see like a little corner of the treasure chest peeking out of the ground now, before you excavate it.
Oh my gosh! Look at all the copper.
Maggie, if you could drop party so that we can steal Steven's stuff.
What?
Oh, yeah. You want me to kick him out?
I'm ready to
Yeah.
backstab.
I just got a whole
See you
bunch.
later,
of stuff.
buddy. All right, murder him. Go, go, go,
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
go.
No,
Get the stuff.
I can't be killed. I'm invulnerable.
Alright,
Yeah,
bye,
I was like,
bye.
my stuff's not working.
Oh, were you trying to kill him and it wasn't
Yeah.
working?
Unbelievable.
That did not take much convincing. They were just like, go.
I know they were ready.
I heard copper. Kill him.
Hey, I tried. It didn't work.
And wow, so
That-
convenient. We're so close to Snakebite Stash. Wow.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Corey, I saw a lot of commentary from players about the rewards that come out of the treasure maps. Talk to us a little bit about kind of that balance and how those rewards are interfacing with the economy.
Yeah, for sure. Mike and a bunch of other related designers did a ton of work on that, and I think it turned out really cool. And it's just going to get better and better. But the players spent a bunch of time giving us feedback on what feels scarce and what's hard to find, and how good jackpots feel. And we were kind of like trying to fill in some of those areas with these treasure chests, right? So, the copper is kind of a funny meme, right, of how scarce that is, and you just opened a chest, and I'm not sure how much copper you got, but it's probably a lot.
Shit ton of copper.
So that feels pretty good, and it's nice to be able to go through the crafting loop to be able to make some of these and kind of target a specific activity to go out and find big treasure like that. So
Josh
that was kind of the goal there.
He's invisible.
He's
cooking.
invisible. Oh. Can
Rogue
we
Najash,
reveal him?
or player Najash. Sad.
Just you wait.
Oh, we are. We're excited.
Rogue Najash.
So talking about treasure maps, we did have a bug where players weren't able to start new treasure hunts, and they would basically, once the treasure hunts expired. And I know that Clayton did some work to resolve that bug. We fixed a lot of bugs, but I know folks liked hearing how we do kind of bug fixing. What goes into that?
Yeah. Planendorf, do you want to talk us a little bit about the bug fix process?
Yeah, so a lot of that is the first step for that is always trying to get something to a first testable or first playable point as quickly as possible. We've been trying to leverage our PTR, especially last weekend, and we got a lot of folks in who helped us identify this thing can be crafted. This mount is broken, things like that, and we are using /bug. We're pulling in from Discord. People are also, DMing the shit out of us, which is awesome, and helping us find these things. We triage them. We've been doing these daily morning meetings with all of our leads, all of our producers who were associated with this update, and going through the process of saying, what's the biggest impact to our players, especially against the goals, right? So one of the big goals for this was, a visual update for the desert to make really land that look and feel of the Sand Squall, and also creating this as a region that where people are economically incentivized to either come here themselves or engage in the social networking that's required for effective trade. So, we kind of take our guiding principles for an update as a guideline for prioritization, and then we kind of chunk down the list through that. And then from there, it's just a lot of devs putting in a lot of hard work to fix bugs with honestly the most incredible bug fix rate that I've ever seen at the 4 or 5 studios I've been at. It's insane. We do things here on a regular basis that at every other studio would be called impossible. So, which takes some getting used to as a producer. There's a lot of we could fix this in a day, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You could fix this in a day. That's not real, and here we are. So it's awesome.
So I see in chat that there is a request to provide one of these individuals with a Snorse. Is there a specific person here that you think should get the Snorse, chat? Who should get a Snorse?
Oh.
Okay, one of them says no. Somebody says on the ungilded one, and there's a lot of me's. The one that says I don't know, should the I don't know one get it? All right, let's give the I don't know a Snorse. Hold on. Let me see which one is our Norse. Is the Wisp-Whelk, okay?
I just want to go back
Can we
to
do some questions? I'm going to start pulling those in if you don't.
Yeah, that'd
if
be
you're all right
awesome.
with that, Stephen.
Yeah.
So the first one is here. Can you explain how you balance your mounts, specifically each tier? What are your thoughts on mounts decaying / dying? And I know, Stephen, you had talked a little bit about some of that on an interview recently as well.
I did. Corey, you actually might be a great responder for this one. How do we approach the balancing of our mount stats?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Bucky and I are kind of dialed in with the mount related stuff, but I think the question was related to a lifetime, right? So that's definitely
I think it's both. It's how do you balance the different tiers of mounts? And then additionally, what
How do
are
you-
our thoughts on like mounts dying and decaying? There's
gotcha.
twofold. Yeah.
So yeah, so for the first thing, you know, the tier matters, right? So you know, the earlier you can get your hands on it, as a hunter, that's kind of like the starting point. As you go up in tiers, the mounts are gonna get a little bit stronger, a little bit better, right? And then you know we want to tie in stats with like things that make ecological sense, right? So if you are fighting wolves and you think wolves have like particular traits, like you know they're fast or they're sneaky or they're stealthy or this that and the other, we kind of want to like make the stat line um, aligned with that, right? So right now we kind of have like these base stats in with mount speed and like health, right? And as we continue expanding into more of what we want animal husbandry to be, we'll have much more intricate stats that will and abilities and all sorts of other stuff that will kind of tie into that. So that's sort of our approach. Like we want there to be progression. We want there to be identity that makes like ecological sense or you know thematic sense or sense with lore. And then we want players to absolutely destroy that by breeding and doing crazy stuff with the mounts and making their own crazy creatures. So that's kind of where we're going.
And
Yeah, we have
Stephen
really-
is now outside of the dungeon. If you guys want to head on over here so we can explore more.
Yeah, we've got some really cool R&D going on for the animal husbandry stuff right now. Really
Oh
excited.
yeah,
to show y'all.
absolutely.
The
And
next question.
there's
oh,
some
go
new
ahead.
mounts, by the way, coming down the pipeline.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
The next question is Phase 3 mentions cleric and tank secondary archetypes. Does this mean all classes will get their secondaries or only cleric and tank?
Eventually, but when we say cleric and tank, that means that's where we're going to be starting. And depending on how that progress goes and the iteration that's required, oh my god, all these trees are dying.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. And depending how that iteration goes, will determine the speed by which we approach the other archetypes.
And then when does the dagger come into alpha?
Ooh, that's a good question. We just had a meeting about that actually earlier this week on whether or not we want the, or I guess I had with production about whether or not we want the new weapons to come out with one of the releases or have those come out earlier. I think we'll probably side on earlier, so the weapons might be coming out ahead of some of the other updates, kind of as like a mid update next month. We have I think 3 of them that might be ready.
The thing about daggers is they come out when you least expect it.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's so good.
How do you decide on archetype balancing passes?
There is a discussion between usually the combat team and the owners of particular archetypes. We take into account, obviously, the sentiment and feedback as we observe it within the community. We discuss that sentiment, that feedback. We compare it against data that we collect for each of the archetypes, their survivability, their kill rates, ratio, those types of things. And then a lot of it is just feeling, right? As we're playing the classes with you guys, and we're seeing it perform in a group setting and within the production environment, we take that back and we discuss it amongst the team, usually through our combat balance channels, and then we arrive at some conclusive changes that we want to see. Now, it's important to note that, like, obviously, as part of alpha, there's going to be a lot of changes attempted. Some of those changes might stick. Some of those changes might change again. That's just part of the process, and in order for us to kind of test an approach, we need to make the change and see the repercussion.
Ooh, this one's a follow-up to what was stated by Zach, which is what kind of content is and is not going to be generated by the PCG?
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, it's we're going to be using it on mass scales on large things like it really helps with filling out large areas so we can focus our artistic endeavors on more of the really nice storytelling elements like POIs and interesting places that the players will really be hitting a lot of. So the PCG does a lot with helping us fill out the cliffs and a lot of interesting areas that then we can embellish on over the top of. We still have the opportunity to edit those PCG brushes, but they work in like kind of setting down little clusters of us for us, and in different sizes we can arrange how those grids and clusters can be broken up for us to edit. And yeah, you can set different rules and things like that. The tech art guys have been doing a lot of updates to it, so the capabilities are going to keep increasing for us. But it's to make our work more efficient and to allow us to create a larger world faster.
And also, like, to give it so that make it so that you guys on the environment art side have more time to spend on those bespoke moments, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah.
you guys spent, at one point you guys were having to spend like, I don't know, weeks setting up cliffs in the Riverlands, and you
Yeah.
know, while they look cool, the opportunity for bespoke stuff, you have to put rocks everywhere to make cliffs work, right? Like there's a limit to how
Exactly.
much creativity you can put there, but now you have the times to go in and add those storytelling
Yeah.
moments, those set dressing
Yeah,
moments.
exactly. And the PCG still has a lot of capabilities with still being able to introduce artistic elements to it through kind of the ways that you can direct it and input it. And then you can, embellish on that. Like you said, we can focus our artistic skills towards the more higher trafficked areas, the POIs and paths and major nodes and things like that.
Steven's talking to the baby trees. He's like, "Oh, baby tree." I saw that. It was
I
cute.
know, right?
But you do have to talk to your plants, right? It helps them
Of
grow.
course. I mean, how
Yeah.
else will they be motivated to grow?
Thank you for the very in-depth answer. I love that. The next one is trading in-game gold for non-tangible resources allowed? And if so, how will the system distinguish between that and RMT? Ooh,
Wait, what was the question again?
don't do that. We're gonna come for you.
What was it?
Um,
What was it again?
is trading in-game gold for non-tangible resources like information allowed? And if so, how will the system distinguish between that and RMT?
We take into account behavioral metrics as well, right? So, can you sell information in game? Yes, you can. Where it becomes a problem is if that information you're selling is consistently being sold to gold that is generated fraudulently or through exploits or through botting. Then that becomes a pattern. That becomes a heat map. We identify those heats and we take action against them.
And people aren't paying 1,000 gold for information every week, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
On a
and
regular cadence from the
and
same
we can
character.
see where that gold is going from one player to the next. So we're hunting down that data.
Where's our next little
Beware.
pocket dungeon, by the way? Where
you
should we
can
go next?
head south toward the Prismarium, which would
South.
be it's northeast of Azmoran. So if we follow the river south, we can get there.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let us
The
rally.
Hydrus River.
Oh, yeah.
Feeding the dragon.
Sounds like the Tigris.
The next question here
kinda.
is are there plans for any areas with low/high gray / possibly an area with variable or gravity, low/high gravity? I'm
It
old, I
is-
can't read.
Like
There
the
are not
moon?
There are not yet, but definitely there could be environmental volumes that we use to utilize with certain types of jump puzzles. We've talked about that in the past. If we wanted to set lower gravity environment, lower environment gravities, we could use that, but not right now yet.
Be kind of cool feature of like
Go
the
to the
head
moon.
crater. It's
Of the what? Say
possible.
again, Buggy?
of the head crater, where all those
Oh
like things
yeah,
floating around. If there's just like a low gravity just aura
like
in
an
there,
active
with,
event.
like yeah.
That'd be cool. Where am I going, Jeremy? By the way,
More souther.
more
Yeah.
south.
More south there.
It's marked on the map there.
How much more progress does the desert need before you move on to the tropics area?
Well, that's a good question. So if you look at the map that I'm looking at, and the map that we've released, there's generally kind of this playable space out here that needs to be completed, and we're probably going to have that done relatively soon. As the pipeline of zone development goes, well, actually, Nathan, you could probably talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So right now, the goal is to keep finishing out the desert before we're moving on to the tropics. We're going to be, like Steven said, expanding the play space, making it so that all of the node ZOIs are in, populated. Then obviously there's still a lot of content, or maybe it's not so obvious, but there's still a lot of content that's missing from the desert. As cool as it is, as excited we are for this update, we're still missing a lot of the events that we want to get in. Commissions are pretty light. And there's this whole narrative layer that we want to add as well. Also, the depth of resource, like the depth of materials that you can gather isn't, quite at the level of the Riverlands, at least for kind of bespoke stuff. So there's still a fair chunk of work to do there. As far as timeline, that's always pending, developments and moving to target, yada, yada, yada. Check your bingo cards. Everything's a work in progress. But so that's I think kind of filling that out, taking that to the level of at least the Eastern Riverlands. Sorry for my brothers and sisters over in Nuela, but taking it up to that level, I think, is definitely where we're focused right now.
But that doesn't, I mean, we work in parallel, so we
Mhm.
have artists will be moving on to other zones and biomes while designers
yes,
are filling out the
absolutely.
content in there. So we don't just have everyone in one area before
Sure.
because all
No.
departments do different things. So they're laying the groundwork to go off into different
Remember,
zones, come back.
there's over 230 developers working on the
Right.
project. So
Mhm.
It all just don't look
could
at
you
one
imagine
thing,
230
hammer on it.
people in the desert?
Yeah, just everyone's just trying to check out the same landscape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where am I going?
Come to us. We're all here.
Oh, I found Scott.
Scott's gonna
Oh no, I was
You're lo-
following
you're
you.
lo- you're lost together.
I was
Yeah.
following you. I was
Oh,
looking for
no.
you.
hit M, and then you see where Asmaran is,
Yeah.
north of that, right at the edge of
Oh, yeah,
where Aethanar is, at the bottom. Like right where the line is almost of those two. We are right near there. Hopefully that helps.
Let's see.
The next question is, are you looking into time to kill for PvP? And this was actually a question that was we asked how people felt it was in Node Siege as well during that test.
Are we looking at time to kill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of our balance evaluation, kind of at all times, right? One thing to keep in mind, though, is, and we've always said this, right? We balance PvP from a group v group perspective. So if we're looking at, time to kill within the scenario of a 1v1 or a 2v1 or a 3v1, like that's not a good assessment for TTK. TTK in a PvP setting needs to be accommodated as a group v group effort, and then seeing how that feels. And I know that there was recently a 8v8 competition within the game that was hosted, I think, by Crix,
Mhm.
and it was super cool to watch. And there was a lot of there was a lot of fun, I think, had in that, and it was interesting to see kind of those party comps and how they stood up.
All right, Jindrak, take us in here. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So this is
Can't
the
mention the
Prismarium.
8v8 without also shouting at the other shoutcaster, Lloyd and
Lloyd,
Polar.
yes.
Polar, thank you for hosting that as well for us. Those were really cool. We got a lot of great information out of that.
Yes.
Snakebite Stash was designed by Jason. This one was designed by Jess, and Zach worked with Jess on building this all out. So
Awesome.
this is the
And
background
just
on-
joined us last live stream.
for the Fallen Forge. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the background on the Prismarium is that it was an area built where the Jinn made these constructs for helping the Valen people prior to the Exodus. And this is kind of like where they summoned them and kept them, and they would then send them out to help the Valen people. But the Jinn have been gone, and these constructs are kind of confused and not being controlled, so they're a bit chaotic. So we'll leave that with mystery on that now.
I'm digging the colors in here.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I'm also liking the
Are they harvesting the
is-
crystals?
not yet.
Harvesting from them and being made by them from them.
Made by them. There's life.
Can't harvest these crystals yet though.
The
The
Jinn.
players can't. Yeah.
made
Oh,
'em.
yeah. The Jinn do.
Where are the Jinn? What happened to them?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
That's where I found one. I found a Jinn-bound messenger over here.
That's one of their constructs, but not a Jinn themselves.
Uh,
Yeah, and
Mm.
one of the
Jinn
things that
bound
we've been
Guardian too.
one of the things that's been a cool process shift for us is how we're planning out these zones, and that's kind of one of the things that's led to us being able to more quickly put out this content. So narrative and world, and of course Stephen, Bill have been working on some of the background lore for this. So we're going to be really excited to bring that out to you guys, hopefully sooner rather than later.
I'm digging the cave look. Cool. I think it's still some outstanding lighting work, obviously, for us to do, but
No, Stephen, it's perfect.
Stephen always has feels about the lights.
this is true.
But it does
Sure.
give lighting makes the atmosphere of the area.
Well,
Sure.
it's hard.
Mhm.
It's hard for lighting because they're kind of at the end of the pipeline, right? For
Yeah.
for any environment, and sometimes they don't get all the time that they want before we go to Alpha 2. But it's always important to remember that Alpha is intended for good enough, not for perfect.
Alpha 2 is a work in progress.
That is right.
Well, and the purpose of that is that it lets us learn faster,
Yes.
which means that ultimately we get to deliver content and feature updates to you guys faster, right? Like if there's a lot of guesswork, then we have to do a lot more internal testing. We have to do like the bug hunting is a much more time-intensive endeavor on our side, and so like the people in our community who show us the things that are broken or are just really buggy or are painful, like you guys have helped us speed up this process so much compared to where we were like 8-12 months ago. It's been awesome.
Look at there's people above the dungeon.
The next question that we have is, will there be in-game systems to reorganize buildings and nodes for strategic purposes or for city planning?
Will there be? I'm sorry. One more time.
Will there be in-game systems to reorganize buildings in nodes for strategic purposes or for city building and planning?
That's a great question. I mean, obviously, when you're talking about the node's development, the mayor has prerogative on which
Which-
buildings are being
which
placed
plot
in
they
which
use.
plots. And to a degree, I guess there is a relevance of strategic planning when making those choices. It would be costly to destroy a building and place it in a different plot, but I guess that's then the meaning behind the choice when you first construct it.
And there are named folks that spawn in these little dungeons, right, Jindrak?
There's 3 in here. Yep. Hmm.
Oh, let me go take a look at that pit. That was cool.
I think the group that was in here already has got
Murdered
at
them.
some of them.
Yeah, and that pit, eventually we can, we'll probably destroy that once we get, a little destroyed section there, possibly. But yeah, it might have some more rubble up there on that top, that little skylight to this. Could be cool.
Did we give Autumn a snail? Chat? Yay or nay? Snail, no snail?
They're dancing up there.
Let's see what chat decides. We have a nay, we have a yay, nays, yay. Ooh, lots of yays. Okay, the yays are having it. Look
The
at
next
these
question
yays.
here is, how is work on the different node aesthetics coming along? Any idea when we'll see them in game?
On the which ones was it?
The
Node
like racial variants.
aesthetics, yeah.
Yeah, the cultural.
roads.
Not yet. We're going to be focused. I mean, there's been a lot of groundwork on the concepts for those. There is some similarities in the sets that we're using and leveraging across that. But right now our focus is on primarily getting the nodes up to maximum stage with the Kalar aesthetic first. So that's our main focus right now.
And then our next one is, will the cleric get castigation back at some point? We want our whip back. People really like the whip.
Whip was really
The OG
cool.
whip. Yeah.
was
Oh,
sick.
the OG whip, yeah.
Might
I love the
Ooh.
snappy sound effects. Did Autumn? Oh, I don't know if we're gonna get the whip back though. I do like it. We need to chat with Combat about that. Where should we go next, Jeremy? By the way, Pocket Dungeon wise.
Oh, we're all in here.
Oh no, I already
Yeah.
went in there. The crystal one?
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was Prismarian.
we're still in here farming
Oh, I came outside.
in the depths.
We can head up. Let's see. We can do the Lost Hero Sepulcher.
Ooh,
Sure.
let's do it.
Here,
This time I'm
Teleport
gonna
ahead.
follow you.
I'm just gonna teleport ahead.
Okay.
Okay, you can summon us all.
Oh, you want to summon us to it? Okay. Down. Let's do this.
The next one is, how does Ashes of Creation plan to handle advertisements and in-game shop promotions? Many games use aggressive or intrusive tactics that feel out of place and break immersion, while Ashes of Creation take a more subtle approach.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we want to litter the world with, those types of advertisements. That's why we have the concept of stalls. That's why I have the concept of the node boards that you can inspect and take a look at and get information at. These are going to be primarily driven through UI windows, not that you're going to see, pollution in game with these things.
I think they might mean more marketing, like our cosmetic shop, things like that.
Oh, I thought they were talking about player shops. My bad. Cosmetics, are we going to advertise cosmetics in game? No. There's not going to be any marketplace transaction advertisements that are in the client. There might be an interactable shop that you can open from a UI perspective, but you're not going to see anything that's interrupting the
We have a giant
environment.
billboard.
Yeah.
Set
I
up
know,
in the
right? The
desert.
moment you log in.
Hi, I noticed you haven't checked the cash shop in the last hour of play. Did you know we have great deals going on?
When you go
for
to
the next-
close it, it tells you, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
Oh
won't let
man,
you close it until you confirm.
Oh,
No, I think,
great.
and I think on the marketing side,
Teleport income.
we'll let you guys know when new stuff is being added to the shops and stuff like that. But we're not gonna make that intrusive in your gameplay experience. We may post that on social media places and our on our website and things like that. But we won't make your in-game experience hindered by that.
that'd be a great
And
April Fool's live
A
stream.
reminder for those of you who are new to the community, because often we get a lot of folks who join us on the live stream who haven't been part of our community for as long. We will not have any pay to win. So everything that is in those shops will be cosmetic. They aren't going to give you an advantage in game other than, I guess, looking cool, if you consider that an advantage. But our in-game achievable things from our raids and stuff like that will always... Our goal is to make those look even cooler than the stuff that you see on the shop. And Stephen, let me know if I said anything wrong there, but
No,
I think
no,
that
that's
is in
perfect.
line.
Yeah.
I think we're just missing a Stephen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
Yeah,
taking a look at this little creature.
No, you're good. The little broodling,
Little broodling.
dead broodling.
So this location is the Lost Hero Sepulcher. This was designed by Ben, and Tristan was the artist that worked on this one with him.
Take a look.
Oh, here's a spicy one. Solo play is very difficult right now. Do you have plans to make the game more solo friendly during phase 2 or phase 3?
Yes, we will be improving the solo play viability. However, I do want to caveat that with a tenet that is important in our game, which is things will always be easier in group. And obviously we are building an MMORPG. Whoops, hold on. We're building an MMORPG, which has in it both the words massive and multiplayer. So to that end, a lot of our systems are designed with that prospect in mind. That doesn't mean that it should be as difficult as it is now to solo. So there will be improvements on the soloing leveling experience. It should be a viable method, but it's not going to be as good as the group methods.
Yeah, and some of the things like that we've added kind of have, as we complete our systems, kind of fill that out more, right? Like the player shops were a big solo leveler buff, right? Much more access to gear that was hard to access as an exclusively solo player. So that helps too.
Cool. And then, will we upgrade to DLSS 4.0 support in the game?
Oh, that's a good question. We don't have an engineer in this.
Yeah, we don't have
do we?
engineer in the call.
We have no engineering representation.
Just make the
Quick,
call, Steven.
everybody
Yes.
run wild.
Yes. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
Jack.
exactly.
Yes.
I
We'll
feel
do
you.
everything.
Budget's my ass. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's a good question. I would chat with graphics engineering on that. Look at this guy. He's so
Where'd you guys
excited.
go? Oh.
I'm in the sarcophagus.
I'm just trying to keep everyone alive. Yes. Did we pull too many or something? What just happened?
Yeah, we got a
I mean,
few
we're
3
just-
stars.
Okay.
Puking everywhere.
Yeah, also
I
heal
was
cut.
spam healing the poop out of you, and you were.
I'm standing in poison.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
that's why.
Well,
I was like, "What is happening?"
Need DPS.
Oh god.
Sparky, no. Think you can dispel it and purify?
Oh, I might just have to revive you.
Yeah, but it happens on ticks. It's hard. It's hard to keep it off once it's on.
Mob ahead.
Okay, I'll try to.
These mobs do not know who I am.
Yeah, I'm getting res.
Yeah, I'm resin you. Just move quickly if you're standing in the
Oh,
thing, otherwise you're just gonna die again.
yeah, I moved.
Yeah, the 4-stack support comp cries real bad when
Yeah.
heal
I
cut
can't-
enters the stage.
I was like, I'm trying so hard to heal you, but I don't know what's going on.
Oh, we have a desert mama in here as well.
Well, we got 2 healers here.
There's
Yeah, but-
there's a second
Steven's
desert
just one of
mama.
them.
Steven's not
wait.
healing.
Oh, that's right.
We
Okay.
do not have 2 healers. Although I think the bards have been helping.
I'm
Yeah.
investigating the sarcophagus room.
Yeah, there you go.
A lot going
skipped
on down
ahead.
here. Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
Oculars. All right, it was nice knowing y'all.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-oh. We're all gonna die.
Are
See
you
ya.
dying? Oh my
Just
god.
ran into the room. We,
Oh.
we got to be a little
Oh,
more
oh, oh,
strategic
oh.
about this.
I was
Oh,
looking.
no.
Yeah, caught looking.
I got
Kick
you.
him in the
I
head.
got you. I am now healing you.
Locking this ocular down. Oh my gosh. Very nice.
We got a lot.
Yeah, we got a lot.
That's fine.
Okay, I think we're stable now.
Time for a pro gamer move.
I was like, I cannot look at the questions right now. There's just too much.
Sure.
Gotta keep the people alive. We are coming close to a time here. How many more questions would you like to go over, Steven, before you wrap up?
Oh, let's take a couple more. Should we go to? We'll take a couple more and we'll go to another pocket dungeon. Which one should we go to, Jeremy?
Let's do the Scarab Song Hollow.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
Alright.
summon us and we'll
Summon us
speed
outside.
speed it up.
Okay, I'll teleport over there while you guys answer the next question.
Okay, I will
Alright.
grab the next question. Next question is, where is the line drawn when it comes to immersion breaking cosmetics? Would you add like IRL cars or bunny outfits that look completely out of place? I think we only have really one that I know of that is a little
We,
out of place.
our style guide is to maintain a cohesive and thematic immersive environment, which means that we won't be utilizing real world call out other than perhaps some festive like holiday driven one, but you're not going to see like t-shirt and on a character.
And yeah, for sure the ones that we have designed on the marketing side, we've always tried to make sure that they fit in line with the, what do you call it? Style guide for the game. Since they have mobs going underground for skills like scorpions, will there be mobs that drop out of trees or the ceiling, aka spiders?
We've done that in the past, actually, didn't we? Didn't we do that? We did that with we had a rock monster that climbed out of a cliffside back in Alpha 1, and we still have that model. And we had we obviously had our little flanglers. Oh, I'm getting summoned.
Teleport.
Yes, we want to do that type of NPC design, not just for underground, but vertically as well, and within water environments. Uh-oh.
Why'd you say uh-oh?
I'm good. I got summoned with my auto run on.
The next one is some of the control/movement options are difficult right now. Are those systems planned to change in the future? How much customizability can we expect?
That's a good question. I mean, I know that in League, kind of with our approach on UI and on the custom hotkeys, we're going for maximum customization as much as we can. Because there are a lot of different games out there that many of us have sharpened our teeth on, and we all have kind of our own different experiences with what we've become accustomed to as a default, or our own control schemas. So
oh yeah, I use weird like RTFG, CV, like weird stuff. So people are always like, "What are you doing?" But I like having it all like right next to my one hand, so I don't have to, so I can be super sweaty.
100%. Yeah, so we want to have maximum flexibility and customization options for the player. This place is cool.
Yeah, this is a really good one.
This tree looks like it's been through something.
It's doing something.
Tristan and Jason. Jason, the designer. Tristan was the artist on this one.
Ooh, more.
There's
more
a big
creepy
creature
trees.
that was living underneath here at one point.
The rib cages and bones, yeah.
Yeah. Something died here, and it was big.
Desert has a lot of these, so there might be a story behind why there's so many rib cages and bones in this area. Big rib cages.
This is a Stoic guild.
Hello,
Funny.
Stoic.
I know. I was in a guild called Stoic when I was playing Dota a lot. Wonder if they're the same guild.
In regards to movement controls, I guess that would still be just like hotkey oriented, or like swapping things like on the mouse and keyboards and stuff like that.
Oh yes.
When are we getting mules? They aren't in the roadmap.
No, they're not on the roadmap. Not yet.
Not everything is in the roadmap.
That is true. It is a likely. There's a lot of shit that would be in that roadmap of everything.
Yeah, if we listed everything.
Someone hit me up today or yesterday when they saw the Daystrider mule, and they're like, "Are mules in the game? Mules in the game confirmed?" Sorry, we just baited you. Sorry about that.
It is a cosmetic that you can put on your mule. It's currently acting as a mount.
No answer quite yet on when mules are coming in, but they are still a thing, and we will be getting mule support at some point in the future.
It's like, why is this so much easier? It's because they're level 18.
Speaking of mules, let me actually turn it to probably. What is the name of the one that's the undead mule?
Bone Strider.
Bone Strider, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so good.
The Bucky has that rogue holding up.
Rogue's very.
And I think generally there's a
tuned.
lot of questions in regards to like guild storage, mount storage, which I think is more mules oriented, things like that. There's just like a lot of questions about storage. And obviously we know there's bugs. We're working to fix them.
This
Please
seems
check
like
our
an
known issues
appropriate-
list.
This seems like an appropriate creature for the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we should-
100%.
We should all turn into Bone Striders.
Okay. And then wrap up with that.
Yeah, let's wrap up as a herd of Bone Striders
Yes,
going through the
Okay.
desert if we can.
that's all I want to do. Be a creature. This beautiful desert.
All right.
Somebody said this mount is very Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that movie. Great movie. Yep, somebody's riding
Whoa.
a hippo. Oh, don't fly with the mute. Don't fly with
Yep.
it.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
What just happened?
Somebody
Who's
tried to
doing
fly with it.
Oh, I just died.
It's
I was
okay.
I
trying
was
to
like,
input.
who did this?
Whatever you do not fly with that mount.
I was like, what
There
is
is
happening?
not there is not an NMBP state for this mount and fly state. Everybody look away.
No bugs. No bugs. Game
Run
finished.
away.
Where are you at, Steven? I lost you now. Oh, I
Trying
see
to
you.
run out of the net call distance.
Oh my gosh. That was wild.
I also tried to do that. So the failure has some.
I think I have recovered.
Yep. Yeah, we back.
Yep.
Nothing to see
Next
here.
slide.
This is what happens when we're live, when we do it live.
We're doing it live.
All right, we'll wrap up with. Do you want to wrap up the whole stream with these guys, or do you want to go back to having us on the screen at the end?
Let
Or?
me see if I can fix my. Hold on one second. I'm getting a little bit of lag here. I think I can fix it. Just let me set my graphic quality. I'll change that, and that'll probably help.
Yo, you got to do the Desert Mama at nighttime thing.
Oh, should we do the Desert Mama at night?
Yeah, desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I kept bringing it up. I was like, it looks so good in it.
It does look real good.
That's why I
All
kept
right.
bringing it up.
Everybody's going to. We're going to change.
I was like,
tonight.
if we don't show it, you should go see it on your own.
Even when they find
Stand
her real
by.
name, she's still gonna be known as Desert Mama now.
Yeah.
I know. Whenever
true.
they find out. Well, I can't tell them what their real name is. So.
Damn,
could.
everybody's going to see a flashbang.
We can
Okay.
change the
The
server.
whole realm. Should we broadcast? Should we be like,
Oh yeah, let me hear. Hold on.
I got it, Steven.
be like,
Greetings.
if you have
friends.
epilepsy, please look away.
You may or may not suffer a flashbang.
They're naming her
Apology.
Karen now.
No.
Arnar.
Jimmy's just no.
Sent out the broadcast.
Look how beautiful.
It is pretty at night.
I didn't see the broadcast, but it might be.
It takes a second.
Oh my gosh,
Filter through the
there's the
social service.
flashbang.
Man.
Such
It
good
should have
progress here.
now. Yeah.
I
If you
found
look
a
at her
fella.
from the angle, it looks like she's like pouring the stars out of her hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sick.
He
Pretty sick.
She does look pretty sick at night.
You gotta get like back to kind of where we started, Steven.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Actually,
Back-
I was like,
back.
actually, that spot is like perfect.
The debug box is killing me.
I know.
I'm sorry, Steven. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Walk backwards, Steven. Walk backwards.
I need to get the moon like the perfect shot
Mhm.
behind it too.
Yeah, so it's like in her
Yeah.
hands. Yeah.
We can use this as
Oh,
the we
that
can
would
use
be
this as
cool.
the thumbnail.
Okay, so Mike will have to remake the thumbnail. We already made a thumbnail, but we can redo that. It'll just take
My,
a while.
my system message never got sent.
saw
It did
it, I
for
saw it.
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it
backed up.
came with the flashbang at the same time. It was a little
There we
intense.
go. Look at that. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
and that moon's name, Shoal.
Shoal.
Shoal. Oh, one of the servers or realms we've named Shoal before.
The Eye of Shoal.
People will know now that is a
Shoal,
moon.
Senrim, and Resna.
Oh, here. Let me actually let me get the perfect shot for this. 1 second. Let me kill our poor little Bone Strider. Whoops.
Close your chat or turn off your UI. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I was doing. There it is.
Beautiful.
There. Up, and there's a flying.
Yeah.
button.
Oh, what happened?
No, look at that shot. Holy smokes. Look at that shot.
Yeah. Really fantastic
beautiful.
job by all of our artists and designers who made this come to
Mhm.
life. Like, just awesome work. I'm so excited for this. I'm really excited to hear what our players think of this because we've done a lot of things differently here, so it'll be cool.
I like how
Yeah.
Turtle Shaker said, that shot is really beautiful, but it's still missing a guild bank.
We were, like we said before, we're
Uh.
working on some of that stuff, and we know there's quite a few bugs with the guild UI that we put out recently. So we're working on that. If you haven't, check out the patch notes. It is quite a doozy. There's a lot of stuff. The team has been working really hard, not just the artist, everybody, engineers, artists, designers, etc. Everyone's kicking butt. Production's been wrangling folks, so we're definitely working hard to ensure that you guys have a awesome testing experience. And obviously, with that testing experience, we are looking for that loop of feedback. So we did put up, and I believe we're going to start doing these every Friday, is we put up a thread over on the Discord and also on our forums. Please provide us your feedback over there. It is immensely helpful for us. If you can post it in those two places, in the format that we've requested, it helps our community team. We go through every single person's all of your feedback is incorporated into a report. It is a hefty report that takes us quite a bit of time to put together. But we share that with the development team on Tuesday mornings. And the QA team goes through and correlates the top trending bugs with bugs that we have in our GR system as well, through whether you guys put them in through /bug or whatever. We try to look for the repro steps and ensure that those are in place, and we prioritize those and try to resolve them. They might not get fixed that exact week, but you'll be starting to see those things coming through. So if you want to see how the flow is, that's kind of what we're doing. So please give us your feedback over there. Again, like I said, over on the forums, we put those up on Fridays as well as on Discord. So choose your space that you prefer to be in, and toss us that information. If you run into any bugs, /bug in game is the best way to provide us information, as that gives us some information on the back end. We may reach out to you individually asking you for more information, but usually that's gives us enough stuff to be able to try to repro it for our QA team internally. I think that's it on the feedback end, unless any of you guys on the design side and art side want to call out anything specifically you're looking for feedback on.
No. Oh, go ahead, Corey. You're good.
I'll jump in. Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for their feedback thus far. I've been playing the game a lot, and it's just been so awesome. Just playing the game with players, being kind of in the natural state of seeing how they feel about things, that are going on with combat and economy and artisanship, and I can't express how much better it makes my job to get feedback like that and have contact with players like that. Oftentimes you have to do all the work and try your best and test internally, and then it's out there and you kind of have to scramble from there. And the amount that people have cared to submit bugs and say how they feel about stuff, whether it's criticism or let's see more of this, I cannot be more happy and more thankful that we have that.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. For me, on the econ side, I'd love to see kind of more feedback on where people are at with the crafting, whether that's costs or the effort. Any of the we've been getting tons of feedback around the stats that and how they're contributing and how gear feels and whether it's impactful. And if anyone has any thoughts or ideas or thinks something is weird in any of those realms, don't be shy to report it. Like was explained earlier, we look into all of that. We get reports on all of that. It's not falling on deaf ears, and it's making the game better.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And we even,
Thank you all so much.
we do get a lot of that. We do get all of our data logs as well. So that is the other side of it. It's just nice to correlate that with some subjective things. So we have quantitative and qualitative feedback.
Yeah,
a lot
exactly.
of stuff going on, and people are saying that she's holding the guild bank in her hands, which was
Yes.
cracking me up.
I was trying to find it.
Yeah, if you get there, if players get there, they'll unlock guild banks, right?
Don't tell them that, Nathan. They'll climb her. And then I guess, do we want to wrap up with these guys and head back on the other side, or wrap up here, Steven?
Yeah, we can wrap up here.
Okay. Wrapping up here, final reminders, join us for Alpha 2. You can do so right now if you head on over to our shop, if you get the Phase 2 bundle. Of course, if you, like I said before, send your feedback over to us, forums and Discord. We are grabbing those, and that will end, I believe, Monday morning for us, 10 a.m. Pacific, so that we can compile that feedback and get that to the dev team on Tuesday morning ASAP. Thank you again so much to you all for joining us and watching these every month and supporting our development. It is a huge piece for us in the loop of creating this product. It is a different way of developing. Obviously, we're doing it live, and I think that that's really exciting. It comes with some, advantages and disadvantages, as Stephen has said many times in the past. But of course, the advantage here is that we can interact with you guys on a daily basis, which is pretty amazing. Thank you, Nathan, Corey, Jeremy, Zach, Scott, Bucky, for your time today and joining us. And of course, all the amazing work that you do and your teams do. And of course, Stephen, it's always nice to snag you. Stephen is a very hot commodity at work. He's like triple, quadruple booked for meetings. So I appreciate you taking time. And of course, for you guys, stay healthy, stay safe. Follow us on all of the places. We are Ashes of Creation. Obviously, this VOD will be available right on Twitch whenever we close down. We will be uploading this to YouTube as per usual. Reminder that if you want to be spotlighted on our large development update video, make sure you leave a comment and you are subscribed publicly so we can spotlight you. And of course, follow us on all the places. We are Ashes of Creation, and we try to keep you up to date with all the goodness. We'll see you
Yeah,
on
thanks so
Vera.
much, y'all.
Thanks, everybody.
You all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Woo.
Bye.